Hello YouTube, it's your big ol' boy. A big ol' boy. B3 back with another kicking action figure review. I should redo that. Not gonna though, because I'm lazy and I don't want to edit. But today we are looking at the NECA Toys Ultimate Count Dracula. Yes, this is from their Universal Monsters line. You know, the Universal Monsters film series is one of, if not my favorite film series of all time. My favorite franchise of all time is Godzilla. But my favorite film series of all time might be Universal Monsters. So sorry, Godzilla. Sorry. Still love them all, though. Godzilla and Universal Monsters. It's all monsters. It's all good. But yeah, this is the black and white version, which is also the Carfax Abbey version. Now, I didn't plan on getting black and white versions of any of the NECA stuff, but since Dracula is in a different outfit than in the in-color version, and since Bela Lugosi is my favorite actor of all time and Dracula is one of my favorite movies of all time, I figured, what the hey, I'll get it. It was like $35 at Target. And since it's an Ultimate, that seems pretty worth it to me. Our last review was the original superheroes Phantom from NECA, and I think I'll probably show him in a size comparison since they're both older characters. But yeah, he's pretty cool. As you can see, it is clearly a different outfit. He's got some different accessories and stuff too, because he has his big medallion when he's in Transylvania or whatever. Here he's just got a little bow tie. The light makes it a little harsh, so it's hard to see. But I want to show you all his accessories. He has this hand. This is kind of like a cane holding hand and an open hand with his ring, his hypnotic ring. But they're gloved, you'll notice. These hands are gloved. But then his other interchangeable hands are not gloved. Which is fine, honestly. Let me lay him down. Pick up all the extra hands here. So here's another kind of open hand. Kind of a reaching hypnotic hand. That's definitely a hypnotizing hand with them big old Bela Lugosi fingers. Come here. God, I fucking love this movie. There's another reaching hand. Another kind of reachy hand. And then a cane holding hand that's kind of without glove. Very cool. Though I think I'll display him with the gloved hands, because I want to display him with the cane anyways, you know? Speaking of, here's the cane. It's a cane. There's nothing terribly special about it. It's no Lawrence Talbot's cane, you know? But it's pretty cool. And I gotta say, this figure's kind of making me reconsider my stance on the black and white ones, because he looks good in the black and white. But also, if I get Wolfman, I can have him displayed as Wolfman. And then if I get the black and white Wolfman, then I can display that as Lawrence Talbot, with the Lawrence Talbot pieces. Huh? And then, if I get Bride of Frankenstein, I can display her in her normal robe with her hair out. And then if I get the black and white one, I can display her in her wrappings, without the robe. Huh? So I think I'll be getting black and white Wolfman, maybe, but definitely black and white Bride of Frankenstein is on my list. So, yeah, that's the cane and hands. He also comes with his bat form. So it's got this little stand. You just peg the clear stand in there, and it's got a ball on the end. And you stick your balls, in this bat, in this very vintage-looking bat. Look at that ugly-ass face. That is an old horror movie bat, if I've ever fucking seen one. He's kind of cute in an ugly way. But yeah, this goes in there. There we go. I recommend heating it up a little before that, to be completely honest. But see, he can articulate on the stand. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. I think everyone would have been fine if it just sat on there like that. But they articulated him on the stand, and I think that's kind of beyond what they needed to do. The bat has pretty decent paint. It's not just a single color bat. They actually, paid attention to the bat and cared about it. Very cool. And I will be displaying the bat. Oh, this is soft. So the figure's cushioned and stuff. So that's, I think, why it's not standing super well. Let me put it on the table next to me. And it stands perfectly. Easy. No problem. He also comes with a couple interchangeable heads. He's got kind of an I'm angry at Van Helsing because he fucking knows my secret head. And then he's got the I'm over that anger for someone who has not yet lived a single lifetime. You are a wise man, Van Helsing. Head. And I'll probably display him with this one, with his charming head. That's probably what I'll display him with. And then he's also got a little hat. He's got a little hat! And I will be displaying him with the hat because he's a little hat. I'm wearing a hat. I'm Dracula. When you think of Dracula, you probably don't think of the hat. And then he also comes with a cloth cloak. Oh, that is nice, Daddy-O. Look, oh, it feels super high quality. Dear Lord, that feels nice. This is higher quality than any cloth cape I have on any other figure. Oh my word, that's really nice. Oh my god, I didn't expect it to be this nice. Look at it, it looks so good. It's got this plastic collar, so it should just be able to cling on to him. Oh, fuck, that's cool. Hold on, let me try this. I hope it stays well. Put it over the shoulders. Oh god, yes. It could stay on a little better probably, but that is nice, right? Dracula. Puff puff ass. Anyway, let's put that magnificent cape to the side. And now I want to do some size comparisons with Bela here. Well, actually, no, because we haven't done all the stuff we're supposed to do before size comparisons. So we should probably do that, like articulation. You know, he's got some up and down on the head. It's rubbery around the collar, so it doesn't hinder as much as you'd think. You know, and the neck moves too. A lot of good movement on that. In and out on the arms, forward and back. Up on the elbow. This is a NECA, so be a little careful when articulating it. Make sure you heat these up before you articulate them. Heat up those joints. I did heat up the joints on this guy, so that's pretty good. And they turn a lot easier. See, they turn side to side on the elbow joint. They do it a lot easier when it's not articulated because it kind of slants down, you see. He's got forward and back on the wrists and a rotation. Be careful when interchanging hands because it feels a little brittle in there, admittedly. He feels much more fragile than the Phantom that I reviewed last time from NECA. And he's got articulation under the kind of rubbery tucks. He's got stuff going on in there, you know? Then you've got some rotation there on the leg. Forward and back, it's rubbery, so it doesn't hinder as much as you would expect. Knee bend, and it rotates. This one rotates just fine when it's bent. Up and down on his little feeties. You've got kind of an ankle pivot, but, you know, it's a little blocked. But he does have peg holes. I got a peg hole, too. Just ask my wife. That's what we call a joke on this channel. It's not what they'd call a joke anywhere else in the world, but... Anyways, look at him. God, I love him. Yeah, now we are going to do some detail and paint. He looks quite excellent. The black and white is done perfectly. Looks right out of the film. They really captured Lugosi's likeness. I've seen a lot of Dracula figures that are like supposed to be Lugosi, but they don't just straight up go for Lugosi because I think they'd have to pay his estate. Or at least pay Universal. Maybe not pay Lugosi's estate, but they would have to pay Universal, who might pay Lugosi's estate. I don't know all the legal stuff that the Lugosi family specifically has. I know his son is out there doing stuff, but yeah, they definitely had to license this specific Dracula, because I don't believe this film is public domain. I think Universal's kept it out of that, actually. But he looks very nice. He looks right out of the film. It's a film I've seen a million times, like over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So, I really like him. I think he looks perfect. But yeah, now let's get into those size comparisons. I want to show him with just an older character that's also a NECA. Here he is with the Phantom, who we reviewed last time. I think he looks fine with the Phantom. Obviously, their style is completely different, right? Like, they do not mesh together style-wise at all. But size-wise, they're fine. Lugosi's a little taller, but that's good, because I think Lugosi was a tall guy. Not like Karloff tall, but he was tall. But yeah, that's just to show him with another old iconic character. And also to show him with another NECA and figure in that scale. Speaking of the same scale, here he is with a McFarlane horror character. Bum-ba-da-ba-ba. Spawn. This is the deluxe Spawn. Don't worry, I'll get to showing him off with other stuff. But I think this is relevant. You know, same scale, also a monster kind of character. Also iconic. Now, here's a conflict you didn't know you wanted to see. Dracula and the Doomslayer. God, I would love to watch the fucking Doomslayer just like cut his way through classical monsters, you know? That would be super cool to watch. Would that not be a magnificent comic book? I think it would be. But yeah, I think he looks cool with the Doomslayer. Yeah, sure, one's in color and one's not, but fuck it, you can do a black and white filter, right? Now, the last McFarlane I'm going to show him with is a very underrated movie monster. This is a much older McFarlane figure, to be completely honest. It is the McFarlane Movie Maniacs Pumpkinhead. Yes, it's Blumpkinhead, here to suck your dick on a toilet. But, I think he looks cool with Pumpkinhead. I have no fucking clue why NECA won't just fucking license Pumpkinhead and give us a goddamn Ultimate, but I hear they're remaking Pumpkinhead, and NECA will certainly do something for that, I'm sure. And if not NECA, someone will. Very cool. I fucking love Pumpkinhead, so that's awesome. Now, here he is with a Universal Monster, finally. But, it's not a NECA. It's the old Diamond Select Frankenstein's monster. His rival, Boris Karloff. The fact that I have this figure is why I've kind of put off buying the NECA Ultimate Frankenstein. Even though I should, because the NECA Ultimate will clearly be better, right? Like, this guy has 4 points of articulation. One of his arms, like, fell off, and what's the point in having your feet articulated if they move like that? But you can't see my review of this guy on the channel. I've actually reviewed everyone I've shown you so far, I think, except for Pumpkinhead. I have not reviewed Pumpkinhead, but he's high on my list. I'll be reviewing him shortly, actually, because I've had him for a while. Now let's move him out and finally get to some NECA horror figures. But not a Universal Monsters NECA. Here's another one that I need to review. The NECA Ultimate Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees, specifically from Part 7, The New Blood. I really wanted just one Jason. I don't need a ton of Jasons. It might be cool to have a Part 2 one day, maybe. I'm not a big Friday the 13th fan. He's just kind of an iconic monster, you know? But I do want a Jason X. Just the sheer absurdity of Jason X is magnificent. Come on, NECA, give us that Jason X, please. Give us that Ultimate Jason 10. But yeah, I think they look pretty cool together. Once again, in color and black and white, but what you gonna do, boo? Anyways, let's get rid of this Jason and review him later. He's actually an excellent figure. And now, I'm gonna finally give you what you've all wanted. Him compared to the only other one of these I have right now. I'm really behind on this line. I actually have been helping a friend of mine who's an older gentleman, who's not really keen with online shopping and stuff. I've been helping him collect these, so he has more than me. I've bought him more than I bought myself. So, but yeah, here he is with the Boris Karloff Mummy. This is the in-color version, but the in-color version and the black and white version of the Mummy, they're just repaints. That's it. That's the difference. Dracula, it's like a different figure, but with the Mummy, it's just a repaint. I would love it if they, because the Mummy only looks like this for a short time at the beginning of the film, but Jack Pierce's makeup is iconic, but I would love it if they gave us the Mummy in his, like, actual kind of clothes he wore for the majority of the film. That would be nice. I actually have a huge wish list of stuff like this, but NECA is probably just going to make the most iconic of the most iconic. And then some extra ones that they just kind of probably want to. But luckily I don't give a shit. If you heard that fart, hit the like button. But yeah, so he looks like he scales perfectly well with his own line. Yeah, I know I got him displayed like that. I do plan on getting the accessory set for Dracula and the accessory set for the Mummy. I probably will not get the Frankenstein accessory set because the Diamond Select Frankenstein that I showed you a second ago, that he did scale well with, he came with the table. And the main in the same scale as the NECA one. And the NECA's main feature for that effect set is the table. That's all I would use in the effect set, but I already got one with this guy. So, But yeah, I do need to hop on it and get that Frankenstein. As well as the in-color Dracula. And in-color Wolfman. I need all those. And I think Bride is the next one that's going to come out. I'll need both of her. But yeah, that is it for size comparisons. He seems to scale very well with the scale he's supposed to scale well with, and he scales very well with lots of other horror figures in that scale, and the thing that's most important, he scales well with. So what are my final thoughts on the NECA Ultimate Black and White Count Dracula Carfax Abbey version? He's pretty excellent. I wish he could move around a little better, to be completely honest. This cape could maybe stay on a bit better too. But, God, he's gorgeous, ain't he? He's a beautiful looking figure that comes with a ton of accessories. He functions well. As you can see, I changed his head out to the more charming head. And, you know what? It came out pretty easily, and it went in pretty easily. He's a really good looking figure that they definitely put a lot of heart into. That's the one thing I love about NECA. Whether a figure comes out well or not, they clearly put a lot of heart into what they do. They clearly care as a company. And I think it's just because everyone that works there is a collector. They kind of do what they want at NECA. I respect them. Their quality control has gotten a lot better over the years, and I am very happy to shop with them. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you're a fan of Dracula, I think this figure is a must-have, because we don't get many Lugosi Draculas. We get a lot of kind of off-brand look-alike Lugosi Dracs, but we don't get a lot of Lugosi himself. You know what I mean? So if you love Lugosi as much as I do, if you love that Drac on the attack, definitely pick this dude up. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support, and I'll see you all next time.